Hi everyone, this is Julia Doherty from Green Umbrella, and today I'm just going to go through some tips just to show you how to create or how to craft that absolute perfect tweet. There's some golden rules that I'm going to go through. So the first one is, nice and short, is to keep it short. What do I mean by that? Well, let's go on to Twitter. This is just my Twitter feed at the moment, and you can see that if you've got like a nice short tweet, then that just gets your attention. It's just less effort for you to do, so short is shorter. So we would recommend keeping your tweets underneath, say, 120 characters. We used to say that because when people are retweeting it, then it just means that they didn't really have to edit it. But now you have this new feature within Twitter, which is tweet to quote or tweet to comment, and that seems to work quite well. But still, keeping it short just makes it easier. So as you can see, that's more effort to read than something like that. So nice and short, please. That works out absolutely fine. Okay, so that's the first one. Keep it short. Second one is called front loading. I don't know if you know about front loading, but I'll give you an example with regards to front loading. So say if I was using a message that says, here are some good examples of sort of front loading tweets. So the first one says 3 LinkedIn tips that guarantee success, and then perhaps have a bit of a link after that, or 10 LinkedIn flaws exposed. Now what I mean by front loading is that I've got the number 3 in there. LinkedIn is the keyword, tips that generate success. So it's a nice short tweet, but it's also got the key things right at the front of the tweet. So I haven't waffled at the beginning and then put the juicy stuff towards the end. I've front loaded it, so I've got all the most important information in the first 3 words of my tweet. So that's called front loading. And you know, especially with Apple Watches, you know, sort of hitting the scenes nowadays, they have a thing called there's a new sort of theory behind a thing called glance notification. So we've got shorter attention spans nowadays because we have to consume so much information. So to get your information, your key information right at the beginning is crucial. In actual fact, this is the same if you're uploading something to YouTube. You know, when you're doing your description on YouTube, they always recommend by front loading the description of your and also the subject line or the title of your YouTube channel is to front load it. So put those keywords right at the beginning, so it's short, sweet, and the keywords are right at the front. So front loading is the next one. Next one is to keep it lowercase. You know, when you're creating like an email subject line or you're doing a blog title, you tend to do each word with a capital letter. And that's a bit of a no-no on Twitter. And this is just something I've only recently learnt. It's all about the flow of the eyeball. So the eye, when you read it, it's easier to read if it's in sentence case. If you're doing a capital letter for every single word, or everything at the beginning of every single word, it actually makes it more difficult to consume. So you want to make it easy. Think about the customer, think about the person who's reading it, who's consuming your content. Make it easier to read to the eye. I'll give you an example. Here's one which has got capital letters on it, and here's one that hasn't. It's a lot easier to read if it hasn't. So keep it lowercase. Next one is avoid clickbaiting. What do I mean by clickbaiting? We've all seen these clickbaiting things. It's like, oh my god, you're not going to guess what's happened next. Click here to find out. This is so gross. Click here to see what happens. You know, those sort of things. That's called clickbaiting, and it doesn't do you any favours. It just gets people on your content, but as soon as they get there, if they're not expecting what they thought they were going to get, they'll go straight off. And what's the point of that? So don't make it fake. Avoid clickbaiting like the plague. Improve your tweets with images. I'll show you what I mean by that. So, give you an example. Let me show you some of mine. Okay, so some good ones. You see, some of these. That's not a good image. That doesn't work very well with Twitter. You see, it's half cut off. Whereas something like this is a template that we've done. We're doing our tips of the day or whatever on the template. But these templates have been made to actually fit Twitter. So just think about your images. You know, do they fit properly or don't they? And you see I've got some there that probably do. Twitter Vines obviously are working really well. Don't know if you know, this is a bit of a tip that's just happened in the last week or so. You're now getting auto plays on Twitter for videos. So videos is going to be big news. So yeah, again, you know, we've got some other tips. So that's another tip one there. Again, it works really well with the space. But if you put images up that don't work well with the space, it just doesn't flow very well. I'm just looking for a tip that I used for the template that we use on Facebook. So in the early days I was doing one of those. Have I done one of these lately? No, I've been using the proper ones of late. No. But anyway, they do stand out if you use the right size images. So please make sure that you do that. And the last one is get movement in your tweet. So there is two things that you can do to get movement in your tweet. You can use what we call GIFs. Animated GIFs work well on Twitter. There's a really good app that you can use on your iPhone called Pick, Play, Post, and that works really well as well. So it's like animated GIFs, little videos that will appear on your Twitter streams. Or also use Twitter Vine, which is another one to get some movement in your tweets. Or any sort of videos. You can now upload native videos to your Twitter stream. Also, just as a bit of a reminder, don't forget, if you have got a regular tweet, a regular thing that you do, sort of the offer of the month, always pin your tweet to the top. So it's always the first thing that people will see. So use the pin post. The way you do that is literally just here where it's got 3 dots. And you come down to pin to your profile top, and that always stays right at the top. Never leave it right there, always at the top forever and ever and ever. Make sure you're changing that on a regular basis. Right, that's me over and done with, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care, have a good day, bye bye.